I just never, ever thought I would be a documentary filmmaker. And here I am, talking to you. Hi everyone, welcome to number 2 of my vlog series. Today I'm going to update you guys on where I am in production and show you guys where I work on my documentary. I'm dizzy. Gotta go the other way. Spin the other way. So I grew up in a pretty musical home, and in 2007 my family built a recording studio in a loft above our garage, and we call it the tree house. So this is it, and today we just kind of use it for like local musicians. My mom uses it to write poetry, and I use it to work in my documentary. So I'll give you guys a little tour of the tree house. So in here we have the control room. It's a little bit of a mess right now because I was in here last. It's a little old school because we built it in 2007. This is a lot of electricity, so I'll turn that off. And yeah, everything's turned off right now, but this is where I score too. So I got my keyboard there connected up to MIDI, where I use Logic Pro to score. So that's the control room, and out here is the live room, and it triples and quadruples as a concert space, as a poetry reading space. I do yoga here a lot. So here's the computer that I've been using to edit videos and to write grants. And then I got my good Boom headphones. These are awesome. They're Bluetooth. Yeah, I got my Lacy Porsche hard drive and Premiere. I got all that stuff set up, and this is where I do my videos with this screen as a backdrop. Just a quick money-saving tip is that projector screens also do really well as backdrops for videos. These are the world-famous mustard yellow studio couches, and many musicians and artists have slept on these couches because they are so comfortable. There's a spot right here that has like perfect acoustics. It sounds so nice. Singing booth, some amps here, sweet drum set, old Fender amp, we got an old Fender guitar, and a nice view of the rain. It's raining right now and it sounds so good. Yeah, it's really cool because it's in my parents' house where I'm living right now to save money for my documentary, so I can just come up here and do videos and play music and score and edit video. So it's really, really convenient. So yeah, that is the treehouse. It's a really great place, and it's where I've been doing a lot of my work, and I'm so happy to have it. So now that you've seen the treehouse, let me get you situated, and I can give you an update on where we are with this documentary. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick update on my documentary, This Little Land of Mines. Just to remind you guys, it's a full-length feature about the 80 million unexploded bombs in Laos. And it's currently kind of in this blend of pre-production and production. So for those of you who don't know, there are basically like 5 stages of documentary filmmaking. The first stage is called development. All your researching, finding crew, figuring out what characters you want, how you want to talk about the topic, fact-checking, and you're kind of gathering your story, and you're really just discovering the topic. Pre-production is something that a lot of people get confused with development. Pre-production is when you're planning the specifics of the shoot, what hotels you're going to stay in, what airline you're going to use, when to meet your characters, what kind of camera are you using, what kind of audio equipment are you using, etc. Production is what it sounds like. That's when you go out and you film the actual meat of the film, and you interview people, and you film B-roll, and you film establishing shots, etc. Post-production is when you take all that stuff that you filmed, put it in the computer, and you edit, and you do sound design, score, color correction, and then after you're done with post-production, you export your final copy, your final cut, and you send it off for distribution. So that can be like to Netflix, to a TV channel, to YouTube, whoever you're distributing to. So my documentary is currently in a mix of pre-production and production. It was really important to me to hire a local crew in Laos, so I hired a local production company in Luang Prabang. They're called Malao Studios, and they are amazing. They are so talented and professional, and they are currently, I actually think right now, in a 4x4 Jeep going through central Laos, just going into villages and trying to find very specific characters. So although I'm not going to Laos until September, they've already gotten a head start in production. So a little bit about me. I graduated from film school in May, went to Drexel University my freshman year, and then I went to Edinburgh Uni in Scotland for a semester, and then I transferred to American University Film School in Washington, D.C. I'm actually going to be uploading a video about tips if you're thinking about going to film school, or if you are going to film school, how to make the most of it, because I have a lot of thoughts about film school, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. So I've known about the U.S. secret war in Laos for a little over a year now, and I've been researching for about a year now. You know, this isn't a simple documentary. It's about a very sticky subject, and I want to be really, really careful in my research because I don't want to mess anything up. I don't want to step on any toes. I just want to lay the facts out there. So as of now, I am going to Laos in September, and I'm going to meet up with my crew there, and I'm going to be there for a month filming. And then we're gonna edit a little rough cut together, and then I'm gonna come back and use that rough cut to get more funding. If you're making an independent documentary or you're thinking about it, that's a really good way to go about things, and it took me a little bit longer to realize that than I originally thought. It's really, really good to have something to show grantees or funders, because they wanna see something, and I don't blame them for that. But it's a little bit hard to get that rough cut when the subject is quite literally on the other side of the world. So today what I'm doing right now actually is I'm working on this like montage of my Laos research trip. That's my face. I'm very tired in that. I filmed a lot on my research trip to Laos. That was part of the development phase, was that I went on this research trip, and a lot of people think that I already made the documentary. They're like, oh, but I saw this footage that you took in Laos, and I'm like, yeah, but that's like on my camera. You know, my crew, we have really nice equipment. It's gonna be a gorgeous documentary with, you know, drone footage, and it's gonna be very cinematic. And this is, frankly, this does not meet anybody's standards. This does not meet my standards, that's for sure. So yeah, that's basically where I am right now. I'm definitely anxious to get to Laos and to start filming, but also a little nervous. I mean, this is like a very serious topic, and it's something that I try to deal with very carefully. I'm 21 years old. I wasn't alive for the Vietnam War. And it's weird because I'm a very friendly, happy person, and my documentary is about something that's so serious and sad. But you know, it's also inspiring. It's about the way Laotians deal with the 80 million UXO is so inspiring. But the fact that, you know, children are getting maimed, children are getting killed, it's a very serious thing. So yeah, if you're thinking about going into documentary filmmaking, I would say pick something that you're really passionate about, but you have to be careful because anything has two sides. You know, it's funny, I'll have people say to me like, oh, Anthony Bourdain already did an episode in Laos. Didn't you see that? He already did it. You can't do it. It's been taken. And I just laugh because I'm like, do you know how many documentaries, just documentaries, that there's been about the Vietnam War? Like, do you know how many documentaries there are about climate change? Like about food? Can you name one about Laos? Laos is the most bombed country in the world, and the United States did it. And no one talks about it. And I just think it's time we should start talking about it. I have people ask me sometimes, you know, what's the pushback on your documentary? What's the hardest thing right now? And I always say funding, which is kind of a boring answer, because it's true. Finding funding is the hardest thing. And you know, I'm not mad about it. You know, if funding was easy to find, we'd have a bunch of crappy movies all over the place, and who wants that? You know, part of the reason that I started this vlog series is so I can talk to viewers one-on-one and show them that, you know, I'm a young American girl, and I think this is a really, really important issue. I'm here because I saw an injustice happening, something that I was shocked I didn't learn about in school, and that I could not imagine the rest of my life not doing something about, and as a filmmaker, this is my way of doing something about it. So I hope that through this vlog series, you guys can see that this isn't a minor issue. This is something that I've dedicated every single day of the past year or two, and that I've worked really, really hard for, and that I take very seriously. You know, as a young emerging filmmaker and as a female filmmaker, I think it's super important that I do this documentary because it's something that I believe in, it's for a good cause, and it's gonna be an amazing production thanks to my production crew. So on that note, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on vlog number 3. All right, bye.